reward for some hard effort over the last few weeks there for the boys.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, after the 20-minute mark of the first quarter, it was a good performance. So, you know, a lot of the things we've been working on, we improved on during the game, but you know, we've still got a hell of a lot that we've got to do to get up to where we want to be. So, you know, we'll just continue on that theme of working hard on the track and hopefully getting the reward on in the game on the weekend.
Sure, it was a slow start, but pegging back those 5 or so goals early, that must have given the boys a bit of a boost. Yeah,
it did. I think it shows character. I mean, any time that when you have a young side and they're down, to respond like that always is a good sign in terms of their character. So that was good for us. But you know, we're disappointed to get in that position in the first place. But the boys certainly responded well.
What do you do this week to make sure that slow start doesn't happen? You've obviously got the road trip as well to factor in.
Yeah, I'll look, and Brisbane are any time you go up to the Gabba to play Brisbane, it's going to be a hard game, and you know, every game this year, I think, except the Gold Coast, you know, they've started pretty well. So, you know, any side with Jonathan Brown and Mitch Clark in the forward line, and Luke Power and Simon Black and Daniel Rich running through the midfield with, you know, Leuenberger in the ruck, you know, they've got real talent in their football side. So if they put it together, you know, they can be quite damaging. And I think the way they're able to move the ball, and they'll all walk taller a little bit with Jonathan Brown on the side this week, you know, they're going to be a daunting challenge.
What are you expecting from Brownie? What sort of, you know him pretty well, what are you expecting from him fresh up?
I expect him to hit his best, because this will be the best his body's felt in a long time. He's had a long layoff with the surgery to his face, but you know, I imagine he's been able to do a fair bit of running, and the rest of his body will be quite fresh. So I still have very vivid memories of the game against Essendon in 2005, where he kicked 10 first up after a fair spell. So you know, he's pretty intimidating when he's in that sort of form, and that's what we expect him to provide for Brisbane on the weekend.
Do you ring him or send him a text message saying thanks for coming back this week?
Yeah, I was hoping, you know, I don't know what's involved in the surgeon's clearance, but I imagine it'll just be a box ticking exercise, because I don't think any surgeon will keep Brownie away from the Gabba on Saturday night. But yeah, it's good for us. I mean, it's terrific. It's going to be terrific for our young defenders, because you know, we'll be a young defender who plays on him, because we're unfortunately, Nathan Grimer badly broke his finger at training yesterday, so he'll have surgery to have that repaired probably tomorrow. So, you know, we'll be without one of our best key defenders, our most important key defenders. So the responsibility of playing on Jonathan Brown will fall to a youngster. So that's a great opportunity for our young side.
Do you dare rough him up?
No, well, that's I've said regularly that you don't rough up players, you don't rough up the superstars. I mean, they're the only time you would try and intimidate or rough someone up is if you thought you could get an advantage. Roughing Brownie up's only spurred him on in the past, so you know, we won't be going down that path.
Who are the candidates, Brad, to get that interesting gig?
Oh well, the obvious ones. I mean, Robbie Tarrant has got the size and strength, and you know, he's played some good footy for us in defence in the past. And Scott Thompson's clearly a key defender for us, and Michael Frito's played in that key defensive role. So, you know, we'll look at all those players, and you know, we've potentially got some players on our rookie list who are Cam Pedersen and Luke Delaney who played key defence as well. So we'll have a really good think about that over the next couple of days and make a decision.
And what's the key to stopping him? You know, as you say, coming back, it could be interesting with what sort of form he'll rock up with. What are your thoughts on curtailing his potential influence?
Oh well, I expect him to be his best. So the best way to stop him is to keep the ball up the other end of the ground. Because there is no proven formula to stop Jonathan Brown. He's you know, at his best, he's the best key forward in the game. So, you know, we won't be relying on one player to do the job. It'll be multiple players, and certainly trying to get the ball up the other end of the ground as often as possible.
Shocking run for.
It's good to see you give yourself some firepower up front with Aaron Edwards in full.
Yeah, it was terrific for Aaron to get the result, and the 5 tackles he laid were really important, and a couple of goal-creating tackles. So, and he got the result on the scoreboard as well with his 6 goals. So, you know, we've always thought Aaron gives us real flexibility. We've been tinkering with that forward structure to try and get it right. It worked for us on the weekend, but that's not to say it's going to be identical this week as well. But look, he's certainly done everything in his power to be a regular member of our side.
North Melbourne doesn't have a great track record at the Gabba. Do you think that'll be at the back of the players' minds on Saturday?
I don't think too many have been up there. I've never coached North Melbourne at the Gabba, so Brisbane have been a very good side at the Gabba for a long period of time, so that's more of a function of them being a good side than the venue. So, you know, I'm not sure of the numbers, but if you have a look at how many of our players have actually played there, it wouldn't be too many.
What's it like then for you going up there as coach? Back to the Gabba. Does it mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, we're at the stage of the season, and you know we need to get another win. So that's purely our focus, and you know we'll be focusing on what the Brisbane players do well and trying to stop them doing that. So the venue's irrelevant.
Can I go back to Grime? Was it how many weeks was that broken period?
Oh, it'll be at least a fortnight minimum, because it requires surgery. So we're going to need to give that time to settle. So. You know, it's probably more likely a month, but at least a fortnight at this stage.
How's he tracking? Been a shocking run of injuries for him.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those things. I mean, he just thought that he popped his finger on the track, so came off the ground, and we went and got it scanned, and it's a more severe fracture than we thought. So yeah, but his spirits are high. I mean, he had an interrupted pre-season. You know, if there is a silver lining, this gives him a chance to go away and really work on his fitness and potentially do the mini pre-season that he didn't get before he came back into the side.
Brad, what are your thoughts on Brisbane? I mean, obviously winless, but they keep pushing sides. They look like they had some trouble in the first half last week, and they look like they're a side that's not going to stay winless for too much longer.
Oh no, absolutely not. And I mentioned the players they have at their disposal are elite level players, and Simon Black and Luke Power are still elite players in the competition regardless of their age. You know, Jonathan Brown at his best is the best key forward in the competition. So, you know, you add in some exciting youngsters, and they've certainly got a mix that can be damaging. They've started well against good sides. They just haven't been able to last the 4 quarters. So, you know, we've got to ensure that they don't get that start, and that, you know, we're able to overpower them. But, you know, we certainly got a lot of respect for them, particularly up there. Yeah, he will. Yep. It's unusual. I mean, usually you know about an illness the night before, but Ben actually turned up to the ground and was sick. You know, so we literally waited to the last minute to withdraw him. But he's healthy and he's fit, and he'll come back in.
Matty Campbell, where's he at?
He's close to resuming at AFL level, but not quite there yet. He just needs some match fitness, and you know he's had a couple of recurrent hamstring issues in the past, so we'll be very cautious with him.
So is he turning up in the VFL?
Yeah, he will. Yeah, he will. But we're going to be very cautious with his game time, and certainly with his return to the AFL.
I just wanted to ask you if I could about back page of the paper. You probably read that today about superannuation. The idea there, good idea, bad idea?
I didn't read it, but I'm aware of the concept. I think it's a fantastic idea. You know, we have players at the moment that we really we make it mandatory for all of our players to do something outside of football, whether that be study or work placement or some form of off-field engagement. Now, quite often, the players, you know, and the average lifespan of an AFL footballer isn't long in terms of their playing career. So, you know, if they exit the AFL system in, you know, under 5 years, then, you know, they're 5 years behind their contemporaries in whatever field they choose to pursue post-football. So I think, you know, the players who give so much to the game should be, you know, looked after post their career. And, you know, a lot of, you know, footballers don't have work cover. You know, if they get injured on the football track, a lot of them going for surgery 10, 20 years after their career. So I think it's important that we look after our players and their long-term future.
They're asking maybe too much though, when they want airport lounge access.
Oh, I thought they got that already, don't they? Virgin do a great job of looking after us. Okay, thanks guys.